So I'm gonna go over a couple of basic things. You might already know them, but just for the fact of going over them for the guide purposes. So okay, I'm down by the dummies. All right. So first thing I'm gonna go over is basic movement. Do you know how to echo hop or echo walk?
I do not.
Okay. First thing you need to do for this is hot bar Heaven's Echo. So whatever mine's at absolute, yours might be level one or it might be level 3. So
Let's see. I got it. Start.
okay, throw that on your hot bar. Not on, and it can't be on one of the triggers. It has to be on one of the basic hot bars.
Okay.
Okay. So if you hold down block, so hold down R1, and you're gonna hold down X and spam whatever hotbar for Heaven's Echo you made. And if you use your, so that's one way for us to move safely. It's safer than doing Deathline Chase. It's also safer than Shield Chase. Um, Another movement you could do, which is a lot harder, but it's no stamina requirement. Oh, well, almost no stamina requirement. So what you do is from Awaken Guard, I'm going to slowly do it. It's triangle swap, R1 and X, and then let go of R1 and keep holding X, and then go back into block.
All right. Repeat. Just
Okay.
so we can have.
So from block, you're going to weapon swap, and then you're going to hold R1 and X, and then let go of R1. And
So hold R1 as you're doing the whole thing.
no, So it's it's weapon swap R1X, let go of R1, go into promptness, and then go back into guard. Here,
R1, R1X.
yep. So what it should look like is once you get it is, and it's no stamina movement, just to while grinding or whatever, practice it. Um, it's just helpful to move like that without having to go through stamina or through your SP. So that's one of the only free ways for Valkyrie to move. I don't have the skill points yet. I only have about 1400, but eventually I'm going to get just counter, and you can use just counter to extend that combo, and get a little bit more of a dash off of it. So, all right. So yeah, that's the pretty basic for movement, or well, for that type of movement. Another useful tidbit of information is when you're unawakened, if you hold R2 and dash and right and left with R2, this is actually like an super armor. It's supposed to be an iframe, but it's not. But like you can't be CC'd out of this. I tested it over and over and over again. It's really awkward and really weird, but it's super useful. I use it on witches and wizards. So I'll go up to a witch. Um, so what I'll do for a witch is I'll shield chase in, and then use that while they use their voltaic, so they don't knock me down. And when I get behind them, I'll use counter. So if you come over to the dummy and watch it, so if you go around and counter, I only have counter 1 right now.
Yeah, I think I locked that one.
Yeah, I locked it at first too. Hmm. Well, counter is a float. I don't think this dummy wants to be floated right now though. Oh, it's wait. I didn't even float him on Skyward. That dummy might be bud. Fuck. What the? Here, let's go down here. Let me just do it on you. Oh, it's actually empty. What do you know? Damn. It sucks not leveled up. All right. Oh well. Yeah, JJ, I am. All right. So counter when you leveled up is a float, and you could animation cancel it with this type of movement. So it's just like that. And if you saw, I got it counter off while moving like that. So that's super useful. Again, counter when it's leveled higher is a lot better, but like I said, I only have it level 1 right now because I don't have the skill points. Another super useful skill that people sleep on is Skyward Strike. So go ahead and do a grab on me. So if someone grabs you and they're comboing you and stuff like that, and you manage to get up, so you could use Skyward Strike as you get up. Um, so when you get the grab, so say they're comboing you but they don't kill you. If you can get behind them and then Skyward, it's an automatic float, and it's extremely quick. And you could use Skyward to go into promptness or into sharp light, um, into promptness or into your combos, whatever combos you like to use. But Skyward is a very good, very quick float. I generally use it most after I get knocked down and they're sitting there trying to combo me. I'll just jump behind them and a really quick float.
Now you can use shield chase to pop behind someone, correct?
Yep. So Shield Chase is no collision, and Skyward Strike is only usable from Guard and Unawakened and R2, but it never works ever. But if you do it off of Shield Chase, all you have to do is tap R2. Um, so I don't know if you have Upward Strike unlocked, but it's super useful. It's a skill I'd really recommend. It's that skill saves me a lot, especially on PS4, because you can go into it Skyward. Oh, I'm missed you. But you can go into it and Skyward and get a grab off the Skyward immediately. It's like I caught. You see how I caught you in midair?
Uh huh.
Um, so I highly recommend Skyward. Um, Another thing to remember is your pre-attack buffs. If you dodge to the left or move to the left or right when using your R1 attack, you'll get a 10-second movement speed buff, and that affects your chase. Um, as well as to the right with or left with R2, you should get a crit buff. So it's attack buff and crit buff before every fight.
Now you get the crit buff. Which one again?
Sanctum Ferret, R2 to the right. You see him?
Mhm.
Okay. So those are important. And then, of course, Celestial Spear is one of your most important skills because it gives you a like 6 second buff for 80% higher critical chance. So Valkyrie does not need any critical gems at all because as long as you are using Celestial Spear off cooldown, you will always have a your crit at almost 100%, and a lot of your awakened skills are 100% crit or accuracy anyway. So um, I use a lot of different resistance gems instead of using crit gems, which is super helpful. Especially because of that, my grab almost never fails. Of course it would there, because I have a lot of ignore resistance. Um,
Now, with Valkyrie, since you said that a good bit of her abilities have accuracy, 100% accuracy on them, do you think going half an accuracy is really important for the Valkyrie?
So since the meta on PS4 is so ridiculous with DP memes, yes, I have a Tet Vanguards that I switch to fairly often for an extra 92 accuracy. Um, I actually failed pen on it a few times because I was trying to pen it. Um, but it's definitely useful for like mystics and strikers. Um, Witches and wizards don't really scale well enough with evasion to bother. But mystics and strikers, like if you ever fight Sabot or one tap Trina, like the high end scary motherfuckers. Um, with my vanguards, I can almost kill. Well, I have killed Trina quite a few times now that I'm level 60, and Sabot. Um, Man, when I can catch him, I can chunk him down. I can't quite kill him yet, but if I had my skill points, I'd be able to at least get a couple kills on him. He's one of my toughest fights right now. There's really no one else that I've really struggled to fight. I know Musas. If you play too aggressive on a Musa, they could really fuck you because your movement is super unprotected. So if you're trying to just deathline chase after people, you're gonna get yourself knocked down. That's why I recommend echo hopping in duels. Even though it costs a lot of stamina, it's just worth it. Um, Not it doesn't cost stamina. I'm sorry, it costs his SP. Um, yeah, I guess combos. Like I told you
What
before. I'm sorry.
what classes do you recommend being aggressive towards? Like with Musa's like whenever I'm fighting a Musa like Haterade or something, I'm really passive with him because I know like I mess up, my dash isn't like a SA super armor and
So
he just tear me up really easy.
where we get lucky is that our block is a super armor. So when you're blocking, you can't be like even like so like, really quickly block. So if I get behind you and try and float you, whoops,
Hmm.
I can't float you. You're gonna mute it every time because um your block is a super armor. So with a Musa, see like that time you dropped your block, I floated you.
Hmm.
With a Musa, they could damage you if you're low DP. Like they could do a lot of damage to you when they get your back. But all you have to do on a Valkyrie to turn your block is turn around. It's very easy to just follow Musa, keep him behind you, and if he does come up behind you, so if they come up behind me, I'll straight up let them hit my back, and as soon as they go to hit me or use their Dragon's Bite, I'm behind them floating them. That was weird. My shield chase didn't go off. But like, as soon as they get behind me, I'll just be behind them and skyward them. Um,
Now, can you use the floating, the skyward up? Can you use that with X, or you have to use that with R2? Because X puts me back into awakening.
it's R2.
Huh? It's R2.
Yeah, so just forward R2, and then I'll go into like a grab or something like that. Or I'll even another thing you could do off of it is after you hit him with Skyward, go straight into Celestial Spear. This way you have your buff for your combo. So boom, boom, boom. Um, Another important skill to have on your hotbar is your grab, so you can grab from Awakened. And of course, like I told you before, um, Luctum Fluxum. So Luctum Fluxum is the flow from the R2 Sanctum Ferret. You'll eventually hit that flow. But if you hotbar it, you don't need to auto attack twice before it uses it. And the cool thing about that is it's a great down smash. So if I grab you and switch to it and use it, I get the down attack almost every time. So let's see if we could do this for the purpose of the video. Uh, nope, didn't get the down smash. Let me reset you.
Oh shit, I was about to heal. Which revamp skill do you recommend for the Valkyrie?
So Celestial Smite's a really good one, but I go with Celestial Cry. Um, Alright, let me see if I can get this. Oh, there you go. The down smash. See how you're still on the ground for this long? That's because I got the down smash on Flectum. But Castiglio is also a really good down smash, and since it hits so many times, I'll sometimes use if I miss the down smash, I'll usually go straight into Casti, and that will get the down smash for me. So if I miss it this time, yeah, there you go. And one thing that's really important that you should know is if you use if you use Terra, here, switch to Awaken and use Terra Sancta. All right. Do you see how it's a pretty quick skill activation, right?
Mhm.
Like all you have to really do is lift your lance a little bit and do your thing. But use the flow and then go straight into Terra Sancta. All right. You see how you have that lag time?
Yeah.
So the only reason why I like Castigliosho or whatever it's called more is because when you're using it, you can go straight into Terra Sancta and you never drop your lance. So if you watched, my lance stayed at the same spot the entire time and just switched between the skills just off the last hit. So if you use that for your down smash, it's actually quicker to go straight into that skill. It just holds it for like a quarter, like not even a fraction of a second longer. Um, so if you're trying to get really quick, really fast burst damage down, you could just tap him once with Castiglio and then go straight into Terra Sancta. So you can just go bop bop, and that's faster than trying to do the flow. Another thing I'd recommend doing when you do that is the desync. Since desync on PS4 is so bad, if I grab you and you desync somewhere or whatever, and I go to use my flow, like say I grab you and you slide to like there, and I'm facing this way. If I go to use my flow, I'm jumping over your body as opposed to jumping into you. So if you miss that grab and it goes to the side and you go over here, not only did I miss my down smash, but now I don't even have a counter combo. Like I can't even like try and save myself. Whereas if I grab you and you desync, but I go into Castiglio, I stay here and I hit everything in front of me. So it's a safer down smash to use. Is Castigatio. That's what it is. Castigatio. And obviously your big damage is Terra Sancta and Hastidilium.
Can you explain why that would be valuable to really use
What?
in the fight? Hastadilia, just to get the.
It's a super armor chase. I use it to finish my combos because the last hit on it is also a knockback. So, say I'm using my combo. I'm gonna do an. All right, so I'm doing my combo and I hit you with Terra Sancta and you're still alive. Go to run away. Like if I hit you with this, I can follow you with it. So for the duration it's up, it'll go whatever direction you're facing. So if you're using it as a finishing combo as they're standing up, I could chase you and go around you
Oh, okay.
and hit into you. So mess it up. So oh, whoops, that's not the right skill. But yeah, it's a very good skill to use. And another thing that's really good about it is that unlike other righteous charge that we have. Oh, whoops, that's not righteous charge. Righteous charge. As soon as I get to you, the skill stops. With Hastidilium, it does the whole skill just in your face. It won't stop until the skill is over. And on top of that, um, the it's super armor the entire time. Another really important super armor is this. I'm in super armor, super armor, super armor, super armor, super armor, not super armor.
Can you explain what
Until
skill that was?
it's your teleport.
Oh, okay.
So your teleport, super armor, still super armor, still super armor, still super armor, not super armor. Until you put your lance back down, you are in super armor.
But what if can't you shorten the super armor? Like shorten the time she's oh no.
Yeah, I mean you could speed it up by and make it cast really quickly. But this is all super armor right now. Like I can't be knocked down, CC'd until there. Same thing with Terra with shit. With R2 and L2. Um, I messed up. So if you want to use it really quickly, R2 and L2. So this is all super armor, super armor, super armor until there. So until your lance is reset and you hear it reset, it's not you're still in super armor. It's not as long. It doesn't linger as long as your teleport. But it's just still super important things to know. Because I'll just hold this, hold this, hold this, and then move, and that's all super armor. Um, do you know how to do the quick teleport from Celestial Spear?
Um oh nope.
Okay, so
You
for the
need that on your hotbar
nope,
or
Celestial Spear circle. That's all it is. Hit me with Celestial Spear, then just teleport. Boom, you're in Awakening and you're teleporting.
that's one thing I did have issue with doing Celestial Spirit and teleport is the range on the teleport. It's like
It, yeah, if you're
sometimes it like wouldn't allow me to teleport towards them. It only just do the
yeah,
basic
so
up and down.
why am I slowed? So if your cursor's red,
Celestials are slow.
yeah, no. But if your cursor's red, that doesn't mean you're in teleport range. Just because it's so easy to miss it and disengage. Um, it should always teleport if your cursor is red though. Like that's kind of like the idea with this game is if your cursor's red, you're gonna hit that target. But the thing is, the slightest miss or misstep, like, all right, I'm gonna stand right on the edge of your teleport. Okay, go ahead and teleport to me. Oh, whoops, hang on. Oh, hang on. All right, go ahead now. I moved out of range at the last second. So even though I was in range, it doesn't mean you're going to end in range.
Okay.
Um, do you have any other questions or think there's any other questions that a Valkyrie might ask?
Okay. What was it? We don't have any frontal guards, do we?
Yeah, we do.
Because I thought the which one?
Purificatone is a frontal guard. Um, and that's also a DP debuff. It also heals. When you get it leveled up all the way, it's actually really strong. So it'll heal you for like 20%. But if you hit yourself and an enemy, it heals you for like 25%. But if you hit yourself and another player, it'll heal you both for about 20%. But if you hit yourself, another player, and an enemy, it heals all of you for like 30% or something like that. So it's a pretty interesting skill. It's really good for team play. So
So if he was in my party, I would be able to actually heal you with this ability.
yeah. So here, so you healed up to full.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So then I would be able to get that heal if I do hit other player as well.
Yeah.
Like
So if you look, like I'm a little bit low on health, boom, and I'm healed.
so, if I was like, this ability is not going to heal me if I don't hit anybody. But what if I hit a person that's in my group? Will I be able to get the heal as well, or I have
Yep.
to hit an enemy
Nope.
to get the heal?
Nope. You could hit somebody in your group as well.
Okay.
Um, go ahead and hit me real quick. Better to have hotkeyed instead of just using the keybinds.
Hey, how do you get Elyon?
Yeah, I think I do. Are there any abilities that are better to have hotkeyed instead of using the keybinds? Yeah. So, like I said, grab and the flow are the most important ones. Heaven's Echo for movement. Um, obviously your rebounds because you can't use them otherwise. Um, you can also hotbar your vacuum. The only thing I don't like about the vacuum being hotbarred is the fact that if you use it, if you charge it up all the way, it has two pulses. It'll vacuum twice. From a hotbar, it can't do that. You only drop the one basic vacuum and that's it. There's no way to drop the upgraded version of it. So a lot of people do enjoy having that key hotbarred. I don't. One skill that I would recommend hotbarring when you have the skill points for it. Again, I don't have enough skill points for it yet. Is just counter. Because just countered is a pretty good forward guard. I'm gonna go through all skills and see. Just counter. Boom. Yeah, it's a forward guard and it's also stiffness. Um, and it helps with your movement as well to use just counter. On the weapon swap one that I showed you guys, if you add just counter in right there, you can go further. Um, and it essentially doubles the distance you can get out of it. Um, but I don't know. If you can get this down, it's pretty nice. Because the biggest thing with Valkyrie is a lot of people complain about the movement, and with this, most of this movement I'm showing you is safe, because the weapon swap, the slow swap, is a super armor, and so is promptness. So the little hop that I do is the only time I'm not in super armor. But yeah, so just that little hop is the only time you're not in super armor. But aside from that, that's highly the way I'd recommend doing it. Um, Healing went over. Your Breath of Elyon is a super armor as well. Um, it doesn't have a lingering super armor though, like the teleport does. But the teleport is such a slow recharge, and it's just such a long super armor that it's really worth using fighting strikers and mystics if their grabs fail, and they're just trying to get a CC off on you. You could use that, bait them in, and get a grab off that. Um, I recommend running an AP Valk. Um, we don't have Ergons in the game yet. We don't have Narc earrings. We don't have Force Renaros rings. We don't have the stuff that really makes hybrid or DP or worth it for Valkyrie because we're a damage reduction class and we do not really have a lot of damage reduction items. People have been running it. I have fought those Valkyries. I have killed those Valkyries. I fought one that got a kill on me after like 6 duels. So with that said, I do have a lot more experience with Valkyrie than them, so that does help me. But again, we don't really scale with evasion, so it's kind of dumb to run an evasion on this class. Um, the only DP I'd recommend running is your Vanguards, and that's when you're fighting somebody who has a shit ton of evasion. So yeah. Do you have any other questions or any other comments you might want to add in or teach people aside aside from like combos?
Besides combos, okay.
I feel like I didn't go over how good shield throw is. So shield throw is an amazing stun. It'll lock the people in stun for so long, and you could use it from this little super armor thing.
But is there any way to like? There's no way to actually cancel animation that move. You have to wait for it to full animation for you to be able to move.
Um,
Or
if
I know
you,
with the
I think,
whirlpool you can
it,
cast it and just whack people.
is it guard? Hang on. Is it guard that cancels shield throw? Um, so I didn't have the skill points for shield throw until recently, but I it should be flurry of kicks can cancel it, and I think celestial spear can cancel it.
Oh,
Yeah,
Blitz
celestial.
stab. Would you think that would be a good ability to like chase down a player and get
Um,
a little bit extra bit of damage in?
yeah, I'll generally use blitz stab on my down combos, or if someone's running past me or like trying to run away. So if like a striker or mystic like tries to run, I'll try and get him with it. And if I can get him and get the like the knockback off on them, they'll get just shredded. But yeah, so for shield throw, you can cancel it with celestial spear, or you can cancel it with, I believe, flurry of kicks. Yeah, flying kick. I'm sorry, not flurry of kicks.
Is there any way to like extend the distance with stab? Like with the warrior, you can extend solar flare if you dash. Then use their solar
Um,
flare.
I don't think there is. Um, I've never had to. It's usually a pretty solid one because you have to because you already have to be moving forward, like pressing forward on it. um, let's see. I don't think dash can. I think actually, well, actually that's not true. There is one thing that can. Your movement speed. If your movement speed is higher, so if you use your R1, like your right R1 first, and then blitz stab, it gets a little bit more distance, but not much because it's not really like a charge. It's more of a just forward attack, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't, the solar flare is more like righteous charge, where you charge in, you know. Um, Whereas blitz stab is just a pretty solid, strong attack. It just has a really good range on it. Um, there's an unawakened skill that I'm forgetting about that I wanted to go over, but I can't remember what it was. Sword of Judgment is pretty good. I just don't have the skill points for it. Um,
Did you answer the one about the rebound skill? Which one do you recommend?
yeah. Oh, there's two rebounds though. So the other one I'd recommend for the because we got Divine Defense and Divine Slam. Honestly, I'd probably go with Divine Slam. The cooldown on Divine Descent it just isn't worth it, and Divine Slam is really actually pretty good damage. And it has a really high crit rate, really high accuracy rate, has a forward guard, and is a down smash. So Divine Punishment. Why am I doing this wrong? Oh, there's square. Right? I'm sorry. Where is Divine Punishment? Divine Power, that's what it is. Alright, a circle. So Divine Power is another down smash that you could do, but the wind up on it is kind of long. But I'm pretty sure it's a super armor. I gotta check again now. So I really don't recommend it. But if all your other skills are on cooldown from having to chase him down and stuff like that, it's a good skill to go into. Oh no, it's not a super armor anymore. They got rid of it. Oh well. But yeah, so and it's usable from Lancia. Um, so if you happen to get like a knockdown that you weren't ready for and you don't have a combo to follow up on it, so like for example, if you get the knockdown off like Blitz Dab, or you get the knockdown off Hasted Ilium and you weren't ready for it and you hit him with this, it'll just extend the combo. Same with the stiffness. Like if you get the stiffness on promptness, a lot of people are never ready for that stiffness. Just go straight into it. Whoops, it was on cooldown. Fuck. Sorry, let me just reset you. So, like I said, a lot of people don't expect to get the stiffness on promptness because it could throw your CCs off. But if you do get it and you go into this skill, well, of course it misses level 1, but it's a pretty solid down smash with a crit and accuracy buff. Um, so it's pretty helpful if your other skills are off cooldown. But Castiglio is a pretty solid skill. It's usually not on cooldown because it's only a 4-second cooldown. But Divine Slam can extend combos, can catch people who are like trying to run behind you. Because it kind of hits in a circle. So
Alright. Like one more advanced skill. Celestial Smite. Now since it does use what was it? Celestial Spear, do you think you can teleport off a Celestial Smite?
no, you cannot.
No?
Um, so the Celestial Smite is pretty good. I used it for a while on PC, but it eventually got to a point where the recharge on Celestial Spear was more than enough. It's only 7 seconds. The buff lasts for 7 seconds. I didn't need, I didn't need a backup Celestial Spear. I don't catch it all that often. Like I don't catch people with it all that often, and it more messes up my combo than anything else. So like if I get you with the knockdown Celestial Spear and I go to do my combo, my like it will screw up my CC chain to the point where it'll mess up my grab, mess up my float. Like there's too much that can go wrong for getting a knockdown where I can't engage immediately. Because even your teleport off of that is too slow for me. Like you won't like if you outgear someone, yeah, you'll still get the kill. But otherwise, like there's just not anything you could really do to get there in time that's worth it, in my opinion. Um, there is a lot of options. With that said, um, like if you want to go to Social Smite, like it's not a bad one. I just prefer the heal, not only because it heals, but it's also a really strong like mana regen. And if you're running low on pots and you're running out of your SP, and you don't want to use Breath of Elyon, and you have no mobs to like really get a quick promptness off on, Celestial Cry is a great one. Yeah, like let me turn off my fairy and burn through my. Okay, so I have like no mana right now, but if I use Celestial Cry, it brings back 75% of my mana. Um, so that's more what I use that skill for. It only heals like 30%, but it just recovers so much mana that or SP is worth it for like those oh shit moments.
What abilities do you think you shouldn't waste skill points on?
Um, so Purificatone is the only one that I hold off on. Like your Shield Bash and Awakened. The level 3 one is like 60 something skill points, so I don't get that one. I think it goes all the way up to level 4. And I don't get that one until later. Because you don't really need a lot of debuffs. Yeah, it's 68 skill points for level 3. So I don't really think it's worth wasting that many skill points this early on, because the only time you're going to need level 3 is for like Mirror Mock or Akhman, Hystria. And I've been farming Akhman and I've been doing just fine in Akhman without it. Um, but I would recommend holding off on getting level 3 for that. Other skills in non-awakened that I recommend holding off on is Sword of Judgment, um, pretty much any shield skill, except for Shield Chase, um, any of the charges. Um, really, like the most important things in Unawakened are going to be your passives, your PA, your heals, your Celestial Spear, your Shield Chases, um, and Sharp Light for me because it's part of my combo. I showed you before, the importance of that. Um, And shield throw is also really good. Um, shield throw. Oh, and your grab, of course. You have to get your grab all maxed out.
Yeah.
But shield throw is the one I just got most recently. Because you could live without shield throw. Um, but I wouldn't waste time yet on Sword of Judgment just because it's too long of a skill. It's not really very powerful anymore. Um, it used to be a hell of a lot stronger, but it's not anymore. So it's kind of upsetting, but it is what it is.
Now, can you explain the flow of verdict lancia, the flow of it?
It's just more damage. So like, can you see my animations right now?
I can't.
Oh, and here's Cybot.
I think it's a string sniper. Yeah.
No, it's Cybot. It's just my buddy Dread. He's gonna run away. Don't try and fight him. He will kill
Oh, okay.
you. um, so the normal version um, and the flow really aren't much different. It's more of a PVE thing, so you don't really need that either just yet. So the normal one is that right there. The flow is when you pull up the spear. So that's normal. That's flow. If you use the flow there, the flow when you pull up the spear, it just adds that extra hit when you raise it up. It does decent damage. I use it more for the super armor than anything else. Like if someone fails a grab and I'm kind of stuck and running low on like chases or whatever, I'll just go into that. I'll be like, all right, I'm just gonna stay safe. That's no float. I mean, that was with no flow, by the way. So the flow is essentially just more damage. It's not really anything crazy. It doesn't add any crazy perks to it or make it more or less worth it. It's that for me is more of a PVE skill. Um, Again, I just burn it in PvP simply for the super armor. Yeah, and then 2 seconds. So this is with the flow. Yeah, it just has some extra hits on you, and it's for the same amount of time. It doesn't add any time or anything to any of the animations or anything.
All right. In like No Wars and RPF, any large scale fighting, what skills would you take priority in using first, and
Vacuums,
then
oh,
another?
always our vacuum. Vacuum and Celestial Spear are the first for almost all group content. Um,
Now, Celestial Spear can actually it can grab multiple people, not just one.
yeah, so if you vacuum all together and hit them with it, like they're gonna get knocked down. They definitely gonna get knocked down. If you have your 100%, um, which as you should know on Valkyrie is a very strong attack. So if you use your if you're an awakened, get your 2 crit buffs, like your speed buff, get your crit buff, then use your vacuum, your social spear, and then go straight into your 100%. So it's like boom. Whoops, I messed it up. Yeah, like so. What you want to do is you want to get your 2 buffs, do your vacuum, do your spear, and then do your teleport with your 100%. And anything still in that area is gonna die. And your 100% will stun them. So once they stand up, they'll start getting stunned by your 100% because it starts like draining at them and it stuns. So anyone who gets caught in that is gonna die. And if they try and get out, what's cool about your vacuum is it will spin them around. So I don't know if you've noticed that, but if you like get the if you oh oops, if you get a good cast on a vacuum, it'll spin people around. See how you're facing away from me now?
Yeah.
Boom, back attack.
Now you should vacuum before you pop your ult.
What do I do for the crit buff? Yeah, you should. And that's just kind of to get the people together. All right, so Valks have 2 crit buffs. One of them is to so moving to the left and right while attacking will make you do this little like dance thing. With right trigger, it does a buff for crit with left trigger with right bumper is a movement speed, right trigger is a crit buff, and then your celestial spear is an 80% crit buff. Celestial spear is used constantly every time it's off recharge. You're supposed to try and miss with it, otherwise it can mess up your CC chains. If you have trouble catching people, go ahead and use celestial spear to catch them. It's a pretty solid knockdown, and then from there you can go into your combos. And it's an 80% crit bonus and makes all your skills do a lot more damage. So, but yeah, for group fights, what I'll currently like tend to do now, just because I don't feel like 250 AP is enough to burn my 100% in RBF right now, because there's just way too many people running DP memes. So I'll wave of light into my celestial spear, and then I'll go into promptness or oh, whoops, I messed it up because I was talking. But after my vacuum, I'll go in with a haste into Terra Sancta, and just do as much damage as I can. So do your vacuum, do your celestial spear, promptness, get in there, do your knockdowns, whatever you have to do, and then just get out. Like go in, hit hard. Your biggest thing, like my biggest thing, is protect witches and wizards when I'm in RBF, and same for Node Wars. So like I'll kind of hang out around like the back of the group, and when people jump in, I'll vacuum on my own witch and wizard, and anything that was on that witch and wizard is gonna get knocked down by me, down smashed, and then by that time the witch or wizard's gonna get up and obliterate all of them. But yeah. That's currently the way the meta has us play. Once I get my AP over 261, I'll start using my 100%, and that will just start scaring people, which will be fun. But until then, I'm not. I usually lock my 100% for the time being and just pass it on or absorb it.
What? How many skill points do you think it would be comfortable for Valkyrie?
1400 is where you're comfortable. That's where I'm at right now. I'm at 1321. If I had 1400, I could finish the last bit of shield throw, and I could have my Skyward Strike up, and I could probably even have my counter up. And then after that, everything else is just flavor. Damn, see, like I don't know why.
I'm guessing Noble Vow is useless in a sense.
Yeah, you don't.
Vow.
Yeah, you like
Vow.
Vow Trust. Yeah,
Noble.
that will get people killed more often than not, because a lot of people aren't going to be used to promptness. Um, it, damn. Sorry, something in my throat. Um, so some people lock it. I don't bother because like I don't accidentally use it. But if you need to lock it, just lock it. You're never gonna sit there and be like, all right, guys, give me 1 second because I'm like give me 1 second, guys. I'm low on mana. Like no one's gonna be like, oh yeah, just hold on, hold on. All right, we're good. Like, it's super unprotected. Like, and I'm pretty sure it drains your doesn't it drain your stamina to fucking give you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not worth it.
So you think that ability is not worth putting skill points towards as well?
Oh, I would not. No, no, I definitely don't think that's worth it. All right, let's do a couple combos. Um, go away. All right. So the first combo we're gonna do is the safe one. So Celestial Spear, grab, up, Sharp Light, Castiglio, Terra Sancta, haste, prompt. I missed my grab, which kind of sucks. That's a lot of damage.
The grabs are floating.
Yeah. Um. So the other one, which is grab, Sharp Light, prompt, flux, Terra Sancta, haste, blitz, and then teleport. That's a little bit of a longer one. Um, oh, let me put my maneuver on. Oh, it's already on. Never mind. I showed you before why it was important to do the grab sharp light, right? Did I show that in this guide, or did I just show you that before?
You showed me that before. You showed it in
Okay.
there.
So the reason why I use sharp light in my combos is because the second time you notice I failed the grab, well, if I grab and then go into promptness, everything's cool and good. But if I fail that grab and go into use promptness, let's see. I'm just gonna fail a grab. Boom. Oh no. Okay. Nothing happened. I slammed X until I jumped. So if you grab, oh look at that! I failed the grab and I jumped up in the air immediately. It's like, well, that really sucked. But if you miss the grab entirely and then sharp light and you go into promptness, you're fine. Sharp light's a knockdown. Look what it just did to that person. So not only did I miss the grab, but then I got the knockdown after I missed the grab. And there I got the stun. So I highly recommend throwing Sharp Light into the beginning of all your combos, which is why I recommend even getting it to begin with from Unawakened, just because it gives you that safe transition. um, yeah, Terra Sanctus, your big damage. Hastidilium's pretty big damage. You know, as long as you have your crit buff up and you're smacking someone, they're gonna die when you start hitting them. Um, there's a bunch of Unawakened combos you could throw in, but not many of us are at the skill points right now where that's going to be useful. So I'm not going to go over that. But I will go over shield throw a little bit because that skill is important. Just because of how well it works for catches. It's such a long stun and has such a long flow that when people are running at you, like Strikers and Mystics, or even Zerkers, they'll charge straight at you with their dashes. So can you go into Awakening and try and dash at me? All right, and then dash at me. Oh, hang on. It's on recharge now. Not Hastidilium. I mean like shield chase into me. Oh, give me 1 second. Okay, go now. Oh well, I mistimed it because I thought you were good. Anyway, the point is, if they're charging at you and you can get a shield throw off, more often than not, it's gonna hit. Here, so go ahead and come after me. I'm just gonna use it when I can. So you see how I got that stun, even though it only went through you for a second. Like literally, as you got to me, I used it. It went through you and stunned you. So if I wanted to combine that with the cancel, like go ahead and go into me again. So if I want to hit you with that, oh, desynced, of course. Anyway, if you didn't desync, not only did I get you with that, but I could have turned around and grabbed you, got knocked down, could have, pretty much done anything because you were within grabbing range and stunned. So, yeah. I think that covers a lot of Valkyrie.
I don't think I have any more questions to ask. Basically, mainly that flow was what I had questions about. Now, will you think about using that in like large scale area? I guess whenever you're fighting,
Which which
wars,
which flow?
the verdict flow. And also, do you think using scanty all the way sacrum all the way is even necessary?
Yeah, Sacrum is one of my biggest farming skills. Like, if I'm feeling lazy, or I'm fighting someone with that's like wasting my time, I'll literally just sit there like this, and I will literally just auto attack them to death. So when I'm grinding, that's my most used skill. I'll just sit there, 2 hits on a group of Nagas, they're dead. Move on, shield chase away, whatever. 2 hits, next group is dead. You could use it to go straight into a promptness. So you can go boom, 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 and just keep doing a promptness after each one. And when you're low on mana or anything like that, and you're farming, like, doing your Echo Hop costs a lot of mana. So if you want to do that, like echo hop into a group, sanctum into a promptness, and just keep moving, it's super useful. But yeah, it's a good damage skill. Like in PvP, you don't use it all the time, but like who knows if you get up and you have like the tiniest little bit of health left, and you're about to get up, and I'm out of skills to burn because I burned 3 skills trying to catch you, and when I finally caught you, it's like, oh, all I have now is my auto attack. Um, Shield throw is also pretty good when you're for a combo extender when you're down. So if I mess up or whatever, and oh whoops, I messed up there. Look at that. Say I mess up or like I get nervous because I feel like I missed the grab or the down smash, and I back off you. If I go into a shield throw, when you get up, oh, I missed the flow. When you get up, you'll be stunned. Um, Let me do it again, except with the flow this time. Hello? Alright, you see how you're stunned? It took me a second to throw it because I forgot how to use the flow for a second. Um, yeah, so little stuff like that, super worth it. Just because that will stun you after you get up, and like that'll work on like if you're blinded by a witch ability or there's a pet or a bush behind you and you go in and you get a grab and you're like, oh, did I miss that grab? I don't know. Like let me just get out and shield throw. Um, so I don't know. Like I said, shield throw is a very like a very good like oh no moment. Yeah, and you could use shield throw to go into promptness, which is a stun or stiffness rather. So I can literally go from this. Oh, whoops. So I can literally go from this stunning you into this and then into a grab.
See, that's what I was asking about earlier. Like, instead of waiting, like, it is kind of, I'm kind of weird and, yeah, kind of wording it wrong. Like,
Oh, all right. So the whole animation of shield throw is not important. You don't have to sit there for the whole animation. The point is to just get the stun, do your combo, do what you gotta do. So you don't have to sit there and watch it. You don't have to like to cancel it. You could use flurry of kicks or a flying kick. You could use celestial spear. I think you could use grab also to cancel it actually, or even promptness. Yeah, I know promptness can cancel it, and I don't know if grab can. Let me try. Okay, so that's what the promptness cancel. Let's see if grab can. Oh yeah, grab can too. Look at that. Yeah, so you can you like it's definitely cancelable. Hell, it's probably cancelable with sharp light. No, it's not. It's too bad. That would have been OP. Oh my goodness, that would be so OP if you can cancel out with sharp light. Oh hey, look, it finally decided to float. Meh. Uh. Oh, also in strong defense, make sure you tap X. Yeah, that's a very important That's a very important
accuracy
buff.
buff in it.
Yeah, accuracy and DP, and it's a lot. It's like 20% accuracy and like 30 DP. Um, but yeah. Um, if you don't have any more questions or comments, I think we're good.
Okay, back to the build part of the class.
Oh, right. Okay. I will always stack AP on a Valkyrie. Um, like I said, we don't even have the ability in the game right now to build our tanky class in a way. Because as I said before, we scale with damage reduction. We don't scale with evasion. Um, so running a tank Valkyrie is kind of just dumb. You don't have enough burst damage or AoEs to be useful. You don't have enough CCs to be useful if you're not doing damage. Like, people think because we have a big shield means we're a tank. No, this shield literally gives us survivability. Like, I'm alive and fighting because I have this shield. It doesn't make me a tank. When we get Ergons, that will really boost our damage reduction to a point where we could take a lot of hits. Dynasty, I'll go over that in just a second. Um, but I would recommend not doing a DP meme right now. Like you can eventually, but um, for now at least, I would recommend against it. Uh,
What so for accessories, you just say just
you know,
go straight AP for now.
yeah.
Like,
Because all the like, I think like red core rings are the only rings we have that are like a mixed, like where it's actually damage reduction. But like I said, I would recommend it. Like you're not going to be able to do enough damage, and you don't have enough CCs. Like a witch or a wizard running DP, like yeah, that makes sense. They have a lot of heals, they have a lot of AOE damage where they can kind of hit in an area. They have AP buffs just for being a witch or a wizard, stuff like that. That's why they could run it somewhat effectively. A Valkyrie in a full DP meme, like you're going to be annoying, and that's about it. You're not going to be CCing or beating somebody up. Like strikers and mystics running DP, they will CC the hell out of somebody. They will completely shut someone down. Um, but yeah, I don't know. So Valkyrie, like I said, we're more of a class that does damage. I wouldn't recommend running DP. I wouldn't really recommend hybrid either. Um, I would just recommend a Vanguard shield for if you do need more DP or if you need evasion. Um, for crystals, because someone just asked about crystals. Um, since a lot of crystals aren't out yet, I'd recommend RBF power crystals in your Kazarka longsword. You could also use the ancient crystal of flame ones because I don't have the RBF ones yet. For your offhand, definitely the critical hit gems. 10% damage critical hit. Put two of them in there. They're 120k. They cost nothing. They can break. No one cares. But they give you 20% more damage. Because again, if you have almost 100% crit rate, and you put two of those critical hit gems in there, you're going to be doing a lot of damage. Um, for your Helm, I'd recommend an intimidation crystal and a memory crystal, so you get your max casting speed and you get resistances. Um, right now, I'm using a vigor armor in my Taratas again because I'm running the resistance meta. Sturdiness, black magic crystal sturdinesses in my gloves, and RBF crystals in my shoes. Um, and that's mostly for resistances and stuff. So if you look at my resistances, so I have my cast speed maxed out, I have my luck maxed out, my movement speed is still at 0. I need to get the outfit gem to put in to my outfit so I can get my movement speed up. That doesn't have to be at 5, but if you want your dashes to be a little bit faster, a little bit longer, that's definitely something you could do. But my movement with Valkyrie is pretty natural, so I feel like I don't need it. But some people are going to want it. And then my resistances for stun, stiff, and freezing is 55. Grapple is 50. Knockdown and bound is 95, and knockback and floating is 40. So I have pretty high resistances all around. Um, People will say like, "Oh, stop at 60. It's pointless to go over 60." Well, I would say, yeah, that's true, except for the fact that a lot of classes will have innate skills to ignore resistances. So, like Striker has a 30% ignore resist to your resistance for grabs. Um, so if you overstack your grab resistance, whatever you overstack, because in PvP 60 is the cap. But if you're at 90 and a striker goes to grab you and has a 30% ignore, you're still at 60%. Those will overlap. Whereas if you have 60 grab resist and a striker goes to grab you, you only have a 30% resistance at that point, and he's gonna grab you. Um, Same with knockdown. Knockdown is because that's usually what I get hit with on a Valkyrie. Usually, if I deathline chase or I'm fighting a Musa, it's usually the knockdowns that get me. I'm not really too worried about grabs. Grabs don't generally get me. It does happen, but I'm usually pretty on top of, you know, keeping people far enough away from me or getting grabs off of them beforehand. Because with Valkyrie, we could put on like so much pressure on people as long like once you play aggressive. Like I don't recommend playing aggressive versus like a Musa, but there are some classes that if you just start getting aggressive towards, like when they're low on health, like they're gonna get scared because we have a lot of super armor, a lot of lingering super armor, a lot of damage. So there's a lot we could do to keep somebody at bay. But yeah, I think that about covers it. Right? Any other comments or questions?
Uh, so sharp light. Sharp light is an ability that you want for a Valkyrie.
Yeah, yeah. So like I said, the important thing with sharp light is when you miss the grab.
Mm.
You know, because not every grab is gonna land, and once you miss that grab and you jump, like grab me and then go into promptness. But like, let's see if one of us could fail this grab on the video for us.
Oh, that's not a grab.
Nope. Okay. Let's see if I can fail a grab. Oh, God. Oh my god, it's so annoying to like want to fail and not be able to. Of course. This is so aggravating. Anyway, the important thing about Sharp Light is it's a very quick skill. You can keep trying. It's a very quick skill that when you miss that grab and you jump, you're gonna die because he's standing there laughing at you while you jump. Go until you're awake and block. Let's see if that helps. And cast your and cast Heaven's Echo. Nope. All right. Uh, oh, let me take off some resistance. I mean, some my ignore resistance. All right. Now let's see if I can miss this grab. Grab. Nope. Of course not. I hate this game. This game's dumb.
Now, do you recommend Valkyrie using Kudum for PvE content? Like,
Valkyrie is one of
once
the
you get to a high
Valkyrie.
a
Valkyrie is one of the best endgame farmers in the game. You could solo Gyfins, you could solo Mirmok, Hystria. It's one of the few classes that does Hystria so well, just because we have the no collision to get behind someone. Because with the no collision, you can get behind Hystria mobs. Because Hystria is all about back attacks. Hystria is mostly Sorks and Valkyries farming it, and Witches and Wizards. Um, just because we have the back attacks. Everyone else usually goes to Akhman. Do you find your accuracy low without crystals? Yeah, so my accuracy is going to come from my Vanguards. Um, when we get Jin Vipers, I might switch, but I'll probably keep the resistances for now, just because they're so much stronger than, because, like I said, everyone's running DP memes, so I'm not really worried about the accuracy, because when you throw your Vanguards on, like, I throw my Vanguards on, I drop quite a bit of DP, but that alone is 92 accuracy. Like, that put my accuracy up pretty high, especially since I have all tri-gold accessories. Well, except for my witch's earrings, but, tongue reds are expensive. So, yeah, I do find my accuracy is a little low. but I only found one person that I haven't been able to kill because of their evasion. Um, Also, that's Cybot, and Cybot doesn't make sense because he's not human, and he always has all his RBF buffs on, and I never have buffs on. So if I buffed up to his buffs, I wouldn't kill him every time, but I'd be able to kill him a couple times, regardless of his evasion.
I don't know what else to ask. One over the crystals. Did you run over the crystals that you use for your sub weapon?
Yeah, the critical hit ones.
Critical hits.
Yeah, that is without a doubt the only ones you should be using, just because of social spear. We almost always have 100% crit rate, so there's no reason for us to run anything else. It's 20% more damage just for having the two crit crystals. Ooh, that's not good. Sarks and DKs are probably our hard counters, by the way. Just because their iframes and movement, they're one of the only classes that could actually get out of our vacuums effectively.
Yeah, my friend Kayla, he's truly good on the DK. I say top three.
Yeah, I think I think that about covers it. So thanks for tuning in, guys. If you have any questions, go ahead and comment or um, you know message me in game. My name is AngelicSangi. Uh, but yeah, I'm pretty active when I can. I work Monday through Friday, second shift. So on weekends is usually when you catch me or at night. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Let me know if I missed anything.